Hey guys, welcome back. I've come down to Sydney this morning taking our engine B to Revolution Automotive. On the way, I've stopped off at Sydney Motorsport Park to see our good friends from Boxer Beauty who kindly made us some fresh merch, Mirage Speed shirts, which are really, really high quality. I've used Boxer Beauty for years and his stuff is fantastic. Really good guy to deal with, makes quality garments, quality stickers. Hit him up if you need anything. But I'm just about to head over to see Liam from Revolution Automotive to drop Engine B off. He's going to get it assembled, get it ready to drop into the engine bay for us. That allows me some time to get the chassis ready for the engine, to improve some things related to safety and just the ergonomics of the engine bay. So I've got a bit of work ahead of me, and the same with Liam, so I'm really thankful for him coming on board with this. We're about to go and meet him for the first time. I've got all the gear in the back of the ute. Everything's labelled, boxed up nicely for him, so that way he's just not getting into a hornet's nest, so to speak. So yeah, he's got a bit of work there, but I'm really thankful for him coming on board and helping us out with this. So we're going to head over to his workshop now. I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone here filming myself, but I'm down here with Liam from Revolution Automotive. Liam is a 6G70 guru and he's been telling me all about them this morning. I've been getting to know him. This is the first time I've met him, so this is yours, Liam.
Yes, so this is my, I guess, slapped together 6G75 that I did in about 2 days worth of work in my rally art. It's, yeah, one of those things that I was bored one day and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna put it together and have a fun drive. And you know, obviously I'd already been around the platform for such a long time. Yep. So it's been handy that I got a hang of it pretty quick and had good people around me to help me with it. But this is, my daily / race car / beta, I guess you could say.
Yep, that's awesome. And you were saying before, like, you've been around the platform for a while and you've been trying to share some information about it as well, like trying to help others that are doing the swap. Yeah,
of course. Yeah, it's one of the harder swaps that people don't have a lot of information about, mainly because it's a Magna in some aspects. You know, as much as in your case, it's not in a Magna, but you know, it's one of those things that isn't a massive swap out there, so people don't really know what to do. So you know, when I came around to doing them, you know, I struggled for information and struggled, and you know, I reached out to a few people, spoke to them, and they gave me some information, you know, but it was all fairly patchy. So, you know, I had a good few mates in Sydney that were, you know, really into them as well. They helped out for a lot of it. They were the main part of it all, and I was more just the sideliner that helped out when they needed it. And, you know, we all sort of did them together, and then, you know, eventually it started to be just me doing them and more and more. And then after a while, I think, you know, I'd lost count of how many I'd done. It was some crazy number, whether it's like 3.8 swapping a Magna, or if it's even just manual converting them these days, you know. I've lost count with how many that I've done. It's, you know, it's ridiculous, and it's such a slept-on platform too. Like, it's for something that's, you know, a fairly budget swap, you know, it's such a slept-on thing to do, and it's great. Like, it's fun, you know. I reckon it's one of the quickest NA V6s I reckon you could probably buy, you know. Borderline of like a 370 or something, but you know, that's you're spending upwards of 40 grand there for something like that. So
we're going to get the engine that I've brought down, engine B. We're going to get it off into the workshop and start unloading, and we'll have a bit of a chat about what the plans are for engine B and moving forward.
Beautiful.
So yeah, nice to meet you, mate.
Awesome.
Thank you. So I've got a pile of parts here for you, mate. There's stuff in boxes and everything's labelled.
Looks like fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of fun. But what do you think the plan of attack is?
I think first things first, we'll get everything, have a look through everything, see what we got to work with.
Yep.
And I guess assess the oiling situation that we got, see if we can improve it or if it's good. And it was, I guess, bad luck of the draw. Yeah, see where we can go with that. And
I guess like I'm a bit, I've got mixed emotions about how that front, I guess, that main bearing failed.
Yep.
Whether it was a downshift that was a little bit too early or potentially just a simple over rev.
Yep.
I guess my driving style, I'm a little bit aggressive sometimes, and it's got wide tyres on it, and they're probably up to temperature at the time, and potentially could have downshifted a bit too early or something like that. But I know that I need to tone that back a little bit and drive a little bit smoother. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I guess that's the whole focus of this engine B, so to speak, was to make sure that the oil system was up to task and it's doing what we need of it.
Yep.
And then that way we can, tidy some things up as we go. And, I've got a heap of stuff to do on the chassis and some improvements that I want to make. But, it'll be good. I've kindly noted down everything because I didn't know how long it was going to be apart. Like I thought, there's nothing worse than pulling something apart and then going, shit, where do these go? Some cool stuff. It looks like these have been, you would probably know, but these mounts have all been machined up for the subframe. Whether that's to try and space it down, I'm not too sure. But they were, and then hard bushing, obviously, because they're typically,
they're rubber.
They're rubber from memory, aren't they?
On the front, if it was a Magna,
Yep.
Yeah, Mirage, I think they're rubber. I think they're the same sort of...
Same style.
Same style of...
So they've made up all hard bushing, so that stays nice and firm on the chassis, I guess. So, but there's heaps of stuff there, mate. Injectors, I'm probably going to take a little bit of, something out of your book, whether you can probably give us some recommendations for injectors. I guess the main thing is I want to be able to run it on E85 standard injectors. Can they handle it?
I personally have never done it.
Yep.
I usually go straight up, like anything E85, I usually jump straight up to STI injectors.
Yep. Cool.
The pink set, you can actually buy 6 pink STI injectors specifically for like the Galant or the 6G style engine.
Yep.
So, you can actually buy them in 6 packs instead of having to try and buy 4 and then buy 2. Someone already has gone out of their way and gotten 6 ready for you.
Yep.
So we've always run STI injectors for your 85. As a base car, you put it in, a fuel is always the limitation on them. People always put bigger fuel pumps in them and whatnot, which is fine, but the pressure regulator is also a big one.
Yep.
People oversee that a lot, and I think people oversee that when it comes to a lot of things. The pressure reg is, it's a rising rate fuel pressure reg, which is fine, it works, but you're always better to have an adjustable one on it when it comes to this sort of stuff. Like mine's got an adjustable one on it. It's only a basic one, but it does the job and it's nice to know that it's there. So look, standard injectors are great for just the standard motor.
Yep.
As a 380, they're great, but I think once you start going above and beyond that, it's when you need to really start to step up and put some bigger stuff in. Yeah,
cool. Well, that actually reminds me, I have some fuel rails which I've adapted some AN fittings to, which I'll quickly show you as well.
These guys in the sump?
Oh yeah, the ones in the sump. Yep, that's where I put them. Biggest thing is I probably haven't been able to pressure test them, obviously, because it's a bit of a pain to try and block off the ports. But in regards to one of the guys from work actually welded them up for me, and I think they should be good.
Okay.
So they just run dash 8 fittings.
Yeah, so that dash 8 and that's the crimp
Well,
hose
yeah,
end.
I only put that on there just as a bit of protection for that. I think that'll just spin straight off.
Yeah,
But
beautiful.
yeah, it was just mainly just to protect the thread while he was welding them. So
Yep. Yeah, that works. I'm very curious to see how much you got. Oh, that's why I couldn't feel the balancer, because I'm feeling the wrong side of the motor.
it does have a balancer. It's had a little bit of moisture in here, so it's got some surface rust and stuff like that. But it's definitely in much better condition than the other engine that we had delivered. Even, simple things like the timing cases are in much better condition as well.
Yep.
You can sort of tell when they've got a fair bit of age and Ks on them.
This does actually look a fairly mint engine. Not to say that they didn't degrease it, but I mean, I have never seen a wrecker engine that doesn't have leaking rocker covers.
Yeah, okay.
I've never, ever had one come to me and the rocker covers are not leaking.
Yep.
If the rocker covers aren't leaking, then they've degreased it.
Yep, for sure.
No Mitsubishi from a wrecker engine ever comes sealed up like that.
Well, and it's, I think, like that design, like that rocker cover design, those rocker covers go hard, they go brittle. They don't seal as well as what they did from factory. So I've definitely seen a lot of that during my time as a mechanic and being on the tools. So
I think the biggest one is when you get the apprentice on the tools and they start trying to dig the gasket out and they start bending the tin.
Yep. I've seen that.
That's a good one. And a good little trick that I was taught when I was an apprentice at an old Corvette specialist shop was for the old Corvettes and like old Holden 308s, all that sort of stuff. The old like tin rocker covers. Was to put it on a bench with a socket under it, and you can tap the corners of them back down, and then the socket would actually flatten it out, and it would actually bring it back down level. So you can do that on the corners of these to make them flat again. Because when people tighten them down, you actually, where the bolt sits, you actually press around, and it causes it to sort of
separate
the rocker cover bow up a bit. And then you get a lot of leaking around the edges and stuff. Which is a big thing because people, they're literally torqued to 8 Newton meters. So people think, the rocker cover's got to be sitting on the head, but when you actually do it correctly, the gasket, you can see about that much of the gasket and the rocker cover sitting up higher. And people, think, oh, no, that's loose. It's not loose, that's how it's supposed to be. You start hanging off them and it just bows the cover out completely and that stuffs them. There's a slight little bit of build-up in one of the chambers.
Like in the intake side?
Yeah. It's got a slight build-up in it. Look, provided it hasn't gone any further, it should be fine.
Yeah, righto. Are the valves closed or?
They look like they are, yeah.
Yep.
Usually it's like this all day, every day, and I'm walking around like this, like the Pixar light. Everyone's going, oh, turn your bloody light off, would you? I'm just like, sorry, I'm used to it just being on all the time.
Then you're like, geez, it's dark.
Yeah.
I don't have my light on.
For sure, yeah, definitely.
No, that's awesome, mate. I'm really looking forward to it and really looking forward to the partnership too, because I think we can bring a bit of light to this platform and show people what can be done with it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. To
To
see some more things getting out there and whatnot. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I was a bit stressed in the coming weeks. I started stressing. I had like all these big jobs coming in, and I'm like panicking. I'm like, oh Christ! I'm like, what am I going to do?
You're thinking that you'd overcommitted.
Started panicking, and I'm going, Christ, have I done the wrong thing? Am I leading him on? And then I got these jobs done, and stuff started going out, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm actually happy. And then I pushed it back a couple of times because I was so busy. I'm like, I don't want him to come in and I've got this engine here and that engine there and I've got just shit everywhere.
Completely understand, mate. I've been in your shoes too, and I don't want you to cook yourself either. Like I want you to be comfortable with it. But yeah, as I said, like I'll do it as much as I can on my side just to get everything ready, so that way it's basically blonk it in the hole, and we can just work out what we're going to do with some oil lines and some fuel lines, and
for sure,
and go from there. But I'll get some bulkhead fittings sorted out in the firewall. I saw a mob over in the States that do a nice one that's got like a flange mount, and then it's got 3 little like M4s that just hold it in place, which look really good for the bulkheads to come through. I'm sort of working out where I'm going to put the ECU, where I'm going to put the dry sump tank. And as I mentioned to you earlier, the plan is to run an oil cooler, whether I run that at the front or if I run it at the back of the car, so it cools the return oil back to the tank, so the return oil is always as cool as possible. Maybe that might be the plan, but there's still heaps of work to do and trying to organise things, and but that'll be good.
Get there in the end, hopefully.
We will. We'll be at World Time Attack, and with a car that's running.
If it's not, I'll be hiding.
No, that's awesome. Cool. So a bit about Liam. Liam works out of Sheepy's garage in Caringbah. These guys specialise in they love their i30s. And they successfully track them quite often. I've seen them at the track a few times, and the likes of Oz Time Attack and World Time Attack, they had a pretty successful campaign there with. World Time Attack was not too bad. One of our cars was a lot better than the other, but in the saying that, the other car that wasn't running the greatest also did its fastest time that it's done. So that was quite funny, to be honest. And we didn't quite get the result that we wanted out of one of them, the fastback. But it was still it was a great time. Everyone had fun. Everyone enjoyed it. It was reliable. It went all weekend, not a single issue. Just some tires, brakes. Nothing stupid. Just simple shit that. And so that was over the 3 days or two. There was a practice and then the 2 competition days?
So it was the 2 competition days and then the practice, and there was also another track, an open pit lane day before that. So it was actually 4 consecutive days.
I think the thing is that people don't realise is that running a Time Attack car for 3 consecutive days is a big ask. I guess when you get to the level of the pro guys who go out for 1 lap and then they spend the rest of the day working on the car, fine-tuning it, fair enough. But when you've got the guys in club sprint and some of the open guys as well who, go out there and they're just trying to turn laps, trying to make the car go faster and faster and faster.
For sure.
It's a big ask to push the car for that sort of period of time. They're not set up as a door-to-door racing car, which has got coolers, some power pulled out of it so that it's got that longevity. So to demand that over 3 days is, pretty good.
I wish we could say that we were close to standard, but they're not. Look, they've all got bolt-ons. They've all got, just your basic stuff like your oil cooler, downpipes, tunes, intakes, intercoolers, but nothing nothing crazy. Nothing's running big turbos or E85 or anything like that. They're just a basic direct injection 2 litre that's pretty much based off the 4B11, which is funny. They're an almost identical engine, which wouldn't surprise me. They probably are just the same engine. So, very basic stuff to get it to start moving and still be reliable at the same time. I only started with, my own business. I only started it 9 months ago. I've been doing my own stuff on the side for a couple of years, but nothing serious. And I took the leap when I left my last shop. I was like, I don't want to work for anyone anymore. I like working for myself. I like having the flexibility. So I thought I want to find someone that understands that and I can work with. And like Harrison was great for that. I initially was just going to come and work for him. And a few things happened with him, and life got in the way, and he had to move into a much bigger factory. Before this would have never happened, and I'm sure he's grateful that it has now happened. Because he's done nothing but grow and do great things out of this shop. But yeah, that got in the way. So then I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna start doing my own thing. If you want me to come and, you know, give you a hand a few days a week, let me know. Yeah. And that's how it started, was just a few days a week here and there. You know, I'd come and do, you know, a day with him, and then, you know, I'd go to my other shop where a close mate of mine works, where I used to work out of, and I would work there. And then after a while I went, you know, we discussed it a couple of times, and he's like, yeah, look, we can work something out. And yeah, ever since then it's been like that for probably the last, well, I think 4 months now. That's
awesome. So that's really good.
Yeah, I can't thank him enough.
Yeah.
You know, I can't thank everyone that's helped me enough.
Yep.
But a massive shout out to Harrison, like massive. I couldn't do any of this. Honestly, like really honestly, I couldn't do it without him.
Yeah.
You know, and I know it sounds like I'm freeloading off him a little bit, but you know, we work hand in hand together, and I think that's what makes it work really well.
Yep. It's been really good getting to know you today. Like we've only been conversing over Messenger over the past couple of weeks, and it's really good to see somebody that's as passionate about, you know, racing, the automotive industry, you know, all that sort of stuff as I am as well. I've been off the tools for years, and it kind of reminds me a fair bit of myself, actually, what I see in you. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to partnering with you with this, mate. So really appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to it. Can only go up, hopefully.
Yep, for sure. Yeah. Awesome, cool. Thanks, mate.
No worries.